Hey there. One of the aspects of commercial real estate that I'd like to address, because this has been brought up in the past, it's been an issue in the past, is the offer or the letter of intent, the LOI. A lot of people don't understand the significance of the LOI, and yes, it is not a legally binding document. You cannot be legally bound by an LOI. It is non-binding. However, the makings of the document, the guts of the LOI, are literally the framework of the legally binding document, which would be the purchase and sale agreement or sales contract and or a lease agreement. Those are the binding documents. The letter of intent give the attorneys or the drafters of those documents the framework, the groundwork, the foundation to what they're going to draft. So it's crucially important that the LOI is accurate. It is important that the LOI is complete. And it's also important that once there is a deal, once there is an agreement on both sides, that the agreement be signed, the LOI be signed. A lot of people have an issue with that. And the reason why the attorneys want to see a signed, a fully executed LOI is because they don't want to go draft a document that one party down the road says, wait a second, I didn't agree to that. They need both signatures so they can understand that both parties, the buyer and the seller, the landlord and the tenant, both agreed to those terms. And sometimes you have, and the reason why you have both signatures on it is because if that legally binding document comes back and it does not agree with what the letter of intent says, now whichever side is in the wrong, or whichever side is on the wrong side of that, can say, hey, this is what I agreed to because it's in my letter of intent. So a lot of people think that the letter of intent is immaterial or insignificant. A lot of people think that the LOI does not have to be signed. A lot of people think that it's a step that you really, wasting time. It's really not, because you have to address all of your concerns. You have to address all aspects of your offer. And once those are addressed and put in writing and agreed upon by both parties and signed off on by both parties, now the attorneys or whoever drafts the legal agreements can see, okay, these are the terms of the deal that both parties agreed upon. I've had deals where the tenant did not want to sign. I actually had a deal where a tenant didn't want to sign and their attorney advised them not to sign it. And, we get down to the drafting of a lease document and it held everything up because the attorneys that drafted the lease did not want to draft the lease because the tenants didn't sign the LOI. And they basically said, well, how do we know that they agreed to this? How do we know that, everybody is in agreement, everybody's on the same page? We don't want to draft up a 66-page lease and then find out that the tenant had no knowledge of any of this. So there is a very substantial reason why LOIs exist, what their purpose is. Even though they're non-binding, they should be signed so everyone knows that everybody was on the same page. So yeah, that's the importance of the letter of intent. So I hope that illuminated something for you. I hope you learned something from this video. I am the Bulldog Broker. I hope to see you in the following videos. Thank you so much. Be well.